So how did we get all the way to here on Thanksgiving 2020 with such a beautiful bird and all the sides, only missing the pie for dessert? Well, why don't we go back to last night and show you how we got started. Boy, that sure does look good, and I can't wait till we get to that finish point. Now what we're going to do is we're going to start. We already started a couple days ago by taking this turkey out of the freezer, taking the giblets and the neck out. So now we're going to get started with the actual preparation. So starting with a 13.17 pound turkey that we thawed starting on Sunday. It is now 7 p.m. on Wednesday. It is thawed and ready for seasoning. First thing we're doing is we're taking butter, and we are going to make this turkey nice and buttery and good. Ooh, I can't wait. Now what I love to do is I love to just rub it all over, and this is why I go with the bars of butter rather than just a tub of margarine. You can hear some of the icicles kind of stuck around after they melt, after the bird melted itself. So I always start with the breast side down, because once we get into the full seasoning of this bird, it's going to be easier to keep it with the breast side up. And one thing I also like to do is separate the skin and get some butter under there, and then flipping the turkey. Repeating this process on the breast side of the turkey as well. Make sure you get under the legs. Most of the time, if not all, you'll find that the legs are already tucked in under here, and that's going to help with the cooking process so that the legs do not separate and break off while cooking. A lot of times the skin will separate easy right up here under the breast. Put some of that butter up in there. That's going to help keep your breast from drying out and just give it a nice moisture in there. Sometimes it's a little more difficult than others. The next thing you're going to want to do is grab whatever seasoning that you're going to be using. Get a nice coating on this bird. Rub it in. And as the bird is cooking, you're going to notice all of the colors changing. You can see I'm using one hand to rub the bird, because you don't want to cross-contaminate and get any possible salmonella on your seasoning jar or anything else. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. Chef Shell makes these funny faces when she sees how much seasoning and whatnot gets spilled on the counter. So keep in mind, anybody else in the house, don't leave a mess. Once you're done, clean it all up. Again, cross-contamination and salmonella. That can get you real sick and a nice trip into the hospital. And this time of year, with the holidays and extra cooking and family, always make sure you're taking care of the ones that you are cooking for. A personal touch that I like to do is add a little bit of minced garlic. Just a dab will do ya. You're not doing any pasta or any garlic heavy meal here. And again, I like to put a little bit. It's just like with the butter, I like to throw a little bit on the inside. And as the juices cook off, it's gonna, because it is a dehydrated, it will help hydrate as it's cooking. It's a little bit difficult to do one-handed, but like I said, protect against cross-contamination. Another thing you may want to do, is both for coloring and a little bit of flavor as well, is a little bit of ground sage. You can go with fresh sage, you can go with sage leaf. I like the ground sage just because it's easier to do one-handed, but also it gives a little more control if you want a little extra one place. You don't have to actually go and break anything up. It's already, well, by its sheer name, ground. And the last seasoning is totally optional. It's a little bit of smoked paprika. Not too much of this because paprika can tend to give you a little kick in there. Just like the sage, it's more for coloring than it is for flavor. And now we're halfway through with the final step, which is lightly cover the bird. You don't want to totally suffocate it. You want it to breathe a little bit as the seasoning is soaking into your bird. We're going to put it in the refrigerator overnight just like this. And we'll see you tomorrow when we toss that outside in the smoker. So here we are now at a 7:45 in the morning. I haven't even brushed my hair yet. But here's what we're going to do. We're going to take our bird. If you follow me, we've already preheated the smoker to 250 degrees. Just gonna place it right in there and let it smoke. Okay, so about 4 hours almost into the smoking. You may have to add a few pellets into here. I wish this could come up that we could squish those around. But let's see how the turkey is doing. It's past the danger zone. But as you can see, it still has a little ways to go as it's just over 141 degrees. Well, at 142 degrees. We're going to leave it uncovered for the remainder. And we're going to let that beauty brown. Okay, so 7 hours into it now. We're going to check the breast. Remember, it's got to be at a minimum of 160 to 165. There we go. The breast is good. Now we're going to do the thigh, a minimum of 185. So we are done with this Thanksgiving bird. So what do you say? Number one, we turn our smoker off and unplug it. let's bring this Thanksgiving Day bird inside where Chef Shell will continue doing all the sides for Thanksgiving. So from beginning to end of the 2020 Thanksgiving, we've got the whole thing. Turkey, as well as all the good sides, and a pie will come shortly after. So from everybody here at Cooking with Matt, happy Thanksgiving.